Is Will Howard enough? Breaking down the game we all love each and every day with you right here at the Voice of College Football. Appreciate you stopping by. Please drop us a like and subscribe. All right, Ryan Day announced on Thursday that Will Howard will be the starting quarterback at Ohio State. No big surprise to anyone. He is the guy with the experience, with the accomplishments as well. He's won a Big 12 championship. He guided Kansas State to a 9-4 record last year after that Big 12 championship in 2022. He has started 28 games in big-time college football. He was brought in through the transfer portal to be the starter. And Ryan Day said these specific comments concerning Will Howard's separation from the field. Number one, he made that separation specifically in the last 7 to 10 days. Also, he is executing the best. These are typical phrases that we hear out of a head coach when describing a quarterback battle and naming a starter. This second point, he's executing the offense better than anyone. Also one that we typically get, that he commands the huddle. He has won over his teammates, that he's directing the offense with confidence. The rest of the team has confidence in him. This is a different one, though. Ryan Day said that over the offseason, quote, Will Howard changing his body during the offseason has been significant. Well, this is a guy that is a running type quarterback, meaning that is part of his game. He is a throw first guy, but he can run and run effectively. He's not going to make anybody forget Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick, but he is a capable runner, more than capable. He is a threat. So on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, when he's standing in the pocket and a lane opens, he can get that first down. That is the significant difference between Will Howard and Kyle McCord. When Howard was acquired just after the season, that was my first thought, was 2 points that Will Howard clearly has over Kyle McCord, who played capably last year. Let's not get that screwed up. Kyle McCord was a capable quarterback, not a championship quarterback, and that's what, of course, Ohio State needs, and that's what Ohio State is looking for specifically this season. Will Howard's got to be better than Kyle McCord for two simple reasons. One, I already mentioned. McCord's a pocket guy only. Will Howard can take off and run. He can threaten the defense. He has to be accounted for, whether it be for a design quarterback run or escaping the pocket and picking up a first down, threatening the defense with his legs. And number two, a guy that has started 28 games in big-time college football versus a guy that was a first-time starter, first ever start. I know he had one meaningless start a couple years ago, but Kyle McCord, a fresh starter versus a guy with 28 games, 2.5 years of college football experience. So Howard should be better. Okay, the first time I saw Will Howard was coming off the bench 2.5 football seasons ago. I was immediately impressed because he stepped into a difficult situation, and in a number of cases in that particular season, he led Kansas State back down the field in comeback situations to win ball games. And again, he pulled through in the Big 12 championship game to win a title for Kansas State. So he's got that on his resume. I was impressed with him, the all-time Kansas State passing leader, and consider he had limited weapons. So it's a different situation at Ohio State. Let's look at the advantages. He is being teamed with two of the best offensive minds in college football, Chip Kelly and Ryan Day. Also, the weapons around him are arguably the best in college football. He's going to have that experience to draw from Kansas State. He's also going to be facing better defenses consistently at Ohio State than he did at Kansas State. In recent weeks, I've drawn some comparisons between J.T. Barrett and Will Howard. Rough comparisons, folks. Basically, I'm looking at a guy that does not have elite arm talent in either case, and I'm also looking at an excellent runner, not top-end Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, but excellent runner, way above average in both Barrett and Howard, and guys that were capable, guys that commanded a presence in the huddle, that were respected by their teammates, that had great confidence. J.T. Barrett won countless big games for Ohio State. However, is another J.T. Barrett good enough to win a national championship at Ohio State? Because this is possibly the best team in the country. When you look at complete roster, top to bottom, I believe Georgia has the best roster in the country. However, I'm not necessarily considering the 60th best player on a particular team being better than somebody else's 60th best player as being significant. Ohio State probably is the best 20 or 25 players in the country. So as long as the Buckeyes stay healthy, this is about Will Howard not weighting them down. They should win a national championship based on the top 20 or 25 guys. Now, when you get into a one-game situation in a semifinal or in a championship game, you could lose a great game 31-28 to a worthy opponent, but you have still shown that you are capable of winning a national championship. So I'm not predicting Ohio State necessarily to win a national title just based on having the best 20 or 25 guys at the top of the roster. But that means that they're right there. That means that they should compete seriously for a national championship. My question in going into this situation is, will the 20th best quarterback in college football, let's say Will Howard's in that range, 15 to 20, is that enough to keep that number one too deep on the depth chart at number one? Or does Will Howard weigh them down into a third or fourth best team in the country? That's what I'm considering going into my predictions for 2024. Also, this quarterback situation had to be considered because I don't know what the percentage is, but a large percentage of teams do not make it through the season with one quarterback, keeping that guy healthy. So Devin Brown was named by Ryan Day as the backup, but it's still a battle between Brown and Julian Sayin. Brown was in the same position last year in which he lost the job to Kyle McCord. He was given some series early in the season, then he got nicked up and basically became a running option for Ohio State. He was supposed to start, and he did, at the Cotton Bowl, but he got injured so early against Missouri, we did not see Devin Brown operate against a good defense in that game. So here's my suggestion for Ryan Day, and that's play these quarterbacks. Play the backup. Don't wait till it's 45-3 against Akron. Play the backup quarterback during meaningful time, meaningful snaps, even though the opponents are inferior. You may need him, and you need him to be able to come into a pressure situation against a Big Ten opponent with at least a feel for the game when it's still on the line. So Will Howard has played plenty of football. Sure, he's got to be acclimated to this offense against live bullets on the other side from an opposing defense, so I get that. I'm not in any way saying split time, but play Will Howard 75 or 80% of the time and play the backup. In this case, if it's Devin Brown, play him a significant number of snaps in meaningful time against these first few opponents. My thoughts on the situation: I do think that there are some games in Will Howard's past, not that we cannot allow for down games, but he's got some concerns and warning signs for me. The Oklahoma State game in particular last year, I believe he threw 3 picks and was well under 50% in that game. Again, did not have the complement of receivers, running backs, the whole deal in regards to weapons there at Kansas State than he will at Ohio State. But then again, more will be expected, and he's going to play better defenses in season and postseason. My thoughts about Will Howard, the starting quarterback at Ohio State. Your thoughts? We'll take them down below. Please like and subscribe right here at the Voice of College Football.